For years, I thrived in the high-pressure business world, but the workaholic life finally caught up with me. I was 35, very overweight, in chronic pain with severe mobility issues, terrible diet, no exercise. My health was a complete wreck. Then I went to a gentle yoga class and felt truly relaxed. The stress just melted away. I went from a size 18 to a size 8. I stopped getting sick. Pain disappeared. I learned to open my heart and I felt happy for the first time in years. So I said goodbye to the business world and started teaching. Yoga doesn't have to be strenuous. The easiest movements can trigger major release of chronic symptoms, no matter your age.
Healing Yoga. Yoga for real people with real problems.
Hello, I'm Deborah Devine, and that was my story. Real problem solved by gentle yoga. One problem I had was whole body aches and pain from sitting at a desk, made worse by a lot of time sitting in my car. Driving is so bad for posture and very stressful. As we age, too, driving gets harder for the eyes, and our reaction time gets slower. But experts say the more flexible we are, the older we can drive safely. So today, we will do a very simple sequence of lying down and standing poses to help us behind the wheel. Even just a few poses will make a big difference. Let's start the healing. Joining me today, Sam. Hi, Sam. He had a bad car accident a few years ago. And Susan. Hi, Susan. Susan sits for long periods of time in her car and her lower back is very tight. And Joan. Hi, Joan. She has problems with her left shoulder and her neck. Let's begin with a warm-up. We're going to come down to constructive rest. We let our hands and our arms help us get down here. Knees are bent and feet are about hip-width apart. Bring the shoulder blades down the back one at a time and let the arms come out to the sides. Next time an out-breath comes along, we'll take the knees in one direction and the head in the opposite direction. And then an in-breath brings us back to center, and then an out-breath takes us into the opposite direction. Knees are moving one way, and the head and the neck are moving away. Now, let's come back to center. We're going to take the hands up to the sky, and we're going to start to circle the wrists. We are continuing to rock the knees back and forth and move the head in the opposite direction, circling the wrists in one direction, and then circling them in the opposite direction, spreading the fingers nice and wide. And then we'll make fists. Circle the fists. When we have fists going on is really great. It gets deeper into the forearms. We carry a lot of strain and tension in the forearms from driving. Now, shake the hands out. Shake the hands out. Take a few deeper breaths. Then we'll let the hands come to the sides. And we'll bring the soles of the feet a little bit closer to the bum and a little bit closer into the midline of the mat. We'll take the right foot up and over, resting on the left knee, and we'll circle the foot. Then we'll let the foot stay stable, engaging dorsiflexion, heel strong, toes spread wide apart. We're going to take the right sit bone and draw it down and point it toward the grounded foot so we get this wonderful external rotation of the right femur, the right upper leg bone. And then we'll rock. Move the knees in one direction and the head in the opposite direction. Let go of the jaws, let go of the eyes, and feel this wonderful wringing out of all of the muscles deep into the glutes. Let the out-breath be complete. Feel the belly come to the front spine and pause there for a moment and then allow the in-breath to come in. It feels so nourishing. Now let's come back to center, unravel the legs, and switch over to the opposite side. Spread the toes nice and wide, engage dorsiflexion, draw the sit bone down and point it toward the grounded foot. Get that nice wringing out by externally rotating the femur. Please continue to enjoy constructive rest with a pigeon variation, and we'll be back in a few minutes with more yoga solutions for driving.
Healing Yoga. Yoga for real people with real problems. For more yoga, go to visiontv.ca/healing-yoga. Healing Yoga. Yoga for real people with real problems.
Hi, my name is Sam, and I'm 64 years old. I had an automobile accident that left me with a spinal injury. As a result, I've had to find alternative means of getting my needs met. Yoga, stretching exercises is extremely helpful for me.
Welcome back. In today's episode, we're dealing with yoga solutions for driving. Sam, given that you have to be very gentle in your yoga practice, what are your favorite moves?
Well, it's because of the tightness in the neck and the shoulder. I have a simple stretch that I do, and it's essentially just clasp your hands in the back and just raise your hands as far as you possibly can, and
Wonderful.
and it'll give you a nice stretch, a nice loosening up, and specifically in that area. And that's because that's where it's actually, that's where all the tightness is.
Well, these next poses are going to work with the head and the neck and the shoulders. So first, we're going to be coming down to Tadasana, Ekapada, one-legged. Now, we're standing with our feet about hip-width apart, and the heels are out and the toes are in. The outside edges of the feet are parallel with the outside edges of the mat. There's a bit of a micro bend in the knees, and we're feeling like the quadriceps are really active. Come back on the heels and feel the quadriceps really getting strong. Then we'll go to the glutes, the pelvic bowl. We'll squeeze everything here and feel ourselves lifting on the front part of the body. And we lift the right foot and try to see if we can catch hold of it. Maybe you need a belt, and that is an excellent idea to help you if it's troublesome to grab onto your toes. You can hold on to the outside of the foot, the fronts of the toes, or the inside of the foot where the ball of the big toe is. We're moving the collarbones away from each other and really drawing the shoulder blades down the back. Energize that grounded leg and take a few long, slow, smooth, and complete in and out breaths. After a couple of breath cycles, you'll want to create a little bit of an isometric action. The foot is pressing into the hand, and the hand is pressing into the foot. Susan is going to be taking the pose a little bit further into more of the Lord of the dance. You can use a chair or a wall if you need to keep your balance, and hold on to the foot. Now we're grounding through the ball of the big toe, the ball of the baby toe, and the heel, energizing the grounded leg. And we're pressing the foot into the hand and resisting with the hand against the foot. If your balance is challenged, just take your leg back. We're opening up the front of the hip here. Now let's move over to the opposite side. Bring the right leg down. Plant down, ball of the big toe, ball of the baby toe, and the heel. And this side might feel a little bit different than the opposite side. Give yourself lots of breaths to work things out and loosen things up. Try to keep the knees closer together. Give this leg a bit of an inner spiral. Press the foot into the hand into the foot. Now let's come down for Tadasana with Vitruvian arms. Take the feet a little bit wider apart underneath the hips. Next time an in-breath comes along, we'll raise the arms to about 45 degrees away. Really spread the fingers nice and wide. And exhale completely. Come back on the heels. Feel how strong your legs are. Inhale, rotate the upper arms and let the palms face the sky. Spread the fingers. Hug the arm muscles to the bones. Long, slow, smooth in-breath. Long, slow, smooth, and complete out-breath. Now we're going to take our gaze over to the left and let the eyes keep going when your head stops. We don't want to go too far. We'd like there to be a boundary between comfort and discomfort, and we're just edging up to the discomfort boundary. Let's come back to center. Let the arms float down and just take a few shoulder shrugs. Circling the shoulders back and forth a couple of times one way, a couple of times the opposite way. Grounding again with the lower extremities. Inhale the arms up, 45 degrees. Exhale, rotate the palms up to the sky and engage the arms. Take the head back toward the back plane and take the gaze over to the right. Long, slow, smooth in-breath. Long, slow, smooth, and complete out-breath. Then we'll come back to center, float the arms down. Now, inhale the arms out and up, and exhale. Give yourself a hug. Take your hands onto your shoulders, and if you can, see if you can grab onto your shoulder blades. And then take the bottom arm and let it come up. And then take the top arm and let it come around so that we can touch the palms. Now, let's take the gaze over to the left. One breath cycle. Take the gaze over to the right. Come back to center and release. Inhale the arms up and give ourselves a hug with the opposite arm on top. Take the bottom arm up and take the top arm around, holding onto the palms. Inhale the elbows up. Exhale, palms come away. Please continue to enjoy eagle arms here, and when we come back, we'll have more yoga solutions for driving. Inhale the elbows up. Exhale the shoulder blades down and move the palms away. Long, slow, smooth in breaths. Long, slow, smooth, and complete out breaths.
Healing Yoga. Yoga for real people with real problems. For more yoga, go to visiontv.ca/healing-yoga. Healing Yoga. Yoga for real people with real problems.
Hi, my name is Joan. I'm 62 years old and just finished my cancer treatment, just had my double mastectomy. And since then, I found it difficult to be driving, especially using the left hand and trying to turn my head to the left. So I'm hoping that this yoga session, Healing Yoga, will assist me in getting back to my normal lifestyle.
Welcome back. In today's episode, we're dealing with yoga solutions for driving. Joan, you've never done yoga before. How are you finding the practice?
Quite relieving, actually, because the previous exercises I was doing to relieve the tension in the neck and the shoulders, it took some time, but today, just in a few minutes, I found quite a bit of relief. Thank you.
I'm so happy that you're enjoying the practice. These next few poses are going to make you feel absolutely wonderful. We're going to be working with the spine and the arms and the legs here. Let's move into downward facing dog. Stepping away from the chair and turning it so that the high part of the chair is here for you. And then we'll come right up to the edge of the chair with the hands on either side. We'll begin to step back, keeping the heels out and letting the toes come in. Spread the feet a little bit wider apart, bend the knees, and take the sit bones back. Feel this wonderful extension of the spine. External rotation of the upper arm bones is going to give us a little bit more access through the collarbones into the lungs at the very top. Now we'll walk forward, walking forward, coming to the back of the chair again, and stand and feel how much taller you feel. Now we're going to be moving into triangle pose. So we'll take the chair back behind the mat, and then the right foot is going to come forward, a little bit more, yes. And the left foot is going to come back. Let the left foot come back a bit more, yes. Press down into the base of the big toe. Energize the whole front leg. Give that front leg a bit of an external rotation so that the knee is tracking over to the baby toe side of the foot. And if your hamstring is tight, you can always bend your knee a little bit. Yes, make sure that you're in the comfort zone. Then we're going to inhale the arms out and up. And then we exhale, bending from the hip crease. We're reaching forward and then coming to the chair here. Press down into the fingers. And this open arm can be high. But if you're experiencing a lot of tightness, you can also let the hand come down onto the hip. Yes, wonderful. Long, slow, smooth in-breaths, broaden through the collarbones. Take your gaze up to the sky if that feels comfortable. Let the shoulder blades come down the back. Then, pressing down into the feet, energize the legs, inhale and rise up. And then turn the toes forward and bring the feet together. Now let's do the opposite side. So the left foot comes forward and the right foot comes back. Inhale, lift everything on the front of the body. Exhale, reach forward, bending at the hip crease, and then come down to the chair. Energize the legs. Soon as Susan is doing a more advanced version of the pose. If we can take the arms up to the sky and open the heart forward, wonderful. Next time an in-breath comes along, press your way up. Inhale, lifting and coming up. You want to come up now, Joan? All right, fantastic. Then we turn the toes forward and we bring the feet together. Let's come down into Shalabhasana now, the locust pose. We'll get the chair out of the way and we'll come down onto the belly. When we're driving, we're collapsing the whole front part of the spine. Shalabhasana, the locust pose, is a wonderful way to cultivate the opposite. We go to the inner legs and we rotate them inwardly. Then let's come up on the elbows. We'll come up on the elbows and then we're going to move the ribs away from the hips. And then we plant the hips down, we let the arms come back to the sides, and we rest the temple down on the ground. Yes, we're plugging into the earth here in this pose with a 3-prong plug, the pubic symphysis and the hip points. Everything else is going to rise. Let's squeeze the glutes and plug in. Energize the hamstrings and plug in. And then we're going to inhale and rise. Let the front of the chest come up. Your arms are going to stay here. Yes. Point the palms in toward the outer thighs. Inhale, rise. Lift the legs too. Spread the toes nice and wide. Active feet, active legs. Hug everything to the center. And then exhale. Let your arms come forward. Let everything come down and rest your forehead on your stacked arms. Inhale. Plug in. Plug the pubic symphysis down. Plug the hip points down. Let the legs come up. And inhale, rise. Yes. Yeah, that's it, Joan. You got it. Broaden the collarbones. Let the shoulder blades come down the back. Squeeze. Squeeze the hamstrings. Lift the legs. Yes. Wonderful. Long, slow, smooth in-breaths. Long, slow, smooth, and complete out-breaths. We're working with the paraspinal muscles on either side of the spine, so we're really toning these muscles on either side of the spine. Exhale, come down. Forehead on the stacked arms. Please continue to enjoy several more rounds of Shalabhasana locust pose. And when we come back, we'll have more yoga solutions in our warm down. Pressing down into the pubic bone and the hip points. Inhale, rise. Lift the legs, lift the arms.
Healing Yoga. Yoga for real people with real problems. For more yoga, go to visiontv.ca/healing-yoga. Healing Yoga. Yoga for real people with real problems.
On long rides, schedule stretch breaks every 30 minutes to an hour. Go through the whole body as we are in this practice and spend 3 breaths in each pose.
Welcome back. Today's episode, we've been dealing with yoga solutions for driving. We've released the psoas muscles, the hip flexors. We've released the glutes and the piriformis. And now we're going to be wringing out the last remnants of tension out of the back and out of the belly. We use a bolster for supine twist. We let the bolster come lengthwise on the mat, and then we take our hips right up to the short edge of the bolster. The knees are bent, and they can be close together, or they can be wider apart. Experiment to find out the most comfortable way for you to take this pose. Then we place our hands on either side of the bolster. We take a long, slow, smooth in-breath and lengthen, and then a long, slow, smooth out-breath. We just rotate on the axis of the spine and turn the heart toward the bolster. Another long, slow, smooth in-breath, lengthen the spine, and then a long, slow, smooth out-breath lets us descend without losing any of that length, and we rest the temple on the bolster. Now we'll let the elbows come long and rest on the ground. These twists are very refreshing for the spine and the back. If you have any pinchiness in your hip or in your low back, you can just move your hip away from the short edge of the bolster to give your low back a little bit more room. We let go of the jaws, we let go of the eyes, and we just rest here. One of the most important aspects of yoga is this idea of loving kindness, ahimsa, nonviolence. Yoga helps us enjoy the journey. Let's use the breath to overcome some of those negative feelings that we have when we're driving. Now, use the upper arms and the strength of your upper body to press your way up and unravel very slowly and mindfully. Feel that wonderful prana just starting to pour into all the belly organs and all of the muscles of the back. Unravel yourself, yes. Now, please make sure that you do the opposite side. We're going to be moving directly into Shavasana, supported legs to help the low back. We're going to be using the bolster to support the knees. We move the bolster out of the way, and we're using a pillow or a rolled up blanket or a rolled up towel to support the back of the neck and the head. This bolster underneath the knees is very soothing for the low back. When we're driving, a lot of weight is bearing down on those discs in the low back. So supporting the knees is a wonderful way to help release all of the tension in the low back. We let our legs come a little bit further apart, and we shake things out, and we release the legs down. Let's take the shoulder blades down the back one at a time, and let the arms come out, palms facing the sky, fingers unfurling just like the petals of a lotus, very soft. Long, slow, smooth in-breath fills the entire body with light and spaciousness. Exhaling the last remnants of tension and the last remnants of holding. Please continue to enjoy Savasana for at least another 15 minutes. And we'll see you again next time on Healing Yoga.